This is a sample audio-video presentation chapter from the book, Melodies, Movies and Memories, written by Late Shri Nalin Shah. The book is published by Saarthak Prakashan, Ahmedabad. Price ₹300 inclusive of postage. Copies of the book can be ordered from Kartik Shah, mobile number 9825290796 or purchase from their website www.saarthakprakashan.com.
This is the chapter on introduction from the book Melodies, Movies and Memories by the author Shri Nalin Shah. Growing up in Chichani, a small village in western Maharashtra in the 1940s, I was obsessed with Hindi films and music. During school vacations, I would travel to Mumbai and try to meet artists and people associated with the film industry. I remember meeting the actress Nirupa Roy, who had shot to fame with the Gujarati hit Gunsundari. I also met Badri Kachwala and Vaju Kotak, editors of Gujarati film magazines, who treated me, a mere schoolboy, with affection. I told Vaju Kotak that I was seeking his permission to reproduce his article in a handwritten magazine I wanted to bring out in my village, and he readily granted it. In Badri Kachwala's house, I heard a woman's voice calling from another room. It was my misfortune that I did not know at that time that it was the legendary singer Amirbai, Kachwala's wife, whose voice threw me into ecstasy when I heard her songs of Bharthari and Sindoor later. In the late 1950s, after I had migrated to Mumbai, I had the opportunity to meet Naushad. I believe I surprised him by dropping names such as Khemchand Prakash and Ustad Jhande Khan. He must have wondered how someone as young as myself, I was in my early 20s, knew of these old-time greats. I took to visiting him often in his seaside bungalow on Bandras Carter Road. We would sit in his music room, which had a piano and a cozy armchair where Lata Mangeshkar, Mohammad Rafi, Shamshad Begum and other singers would sit at rehearsals. We talked about music, about forgotten composers, but also about Urdu poetry. I had always been interested in poetry. I studied English literature at Wilson College and read a great deal of Urdu poetry, even engaging a teacher to learn correct pronunciation. Classical music was another interest. I studied vocal music and learnt the violin in Mumbai. I became a committee member of Sur Singar Sansad, a prestigious association for Indian classical music which brought me close to established musicians. I was also part of a listeners' club for Western classical music. I started buying records before I had a gramophone. I scoured Mumbai's Chor Bazar market and antique markets in Delhi, Hyderabad and other cities for rare recordings. After the Times of India and other publications wrote about me in the 1980s, I came to be known as a collector. People would call me to offer the records they were discarding. I was fortunate in having opportunities to travel. In 1960, I joined the Life Insurance Corporation as a development officer. As an office bearer of the Development Officers Trade Union, I traveled all over India to address meetings. Everywhere I went, I sought out artists of the past. I met Surinder Kaur, Pushpa Hans and the wives of Husnalal and Shyam Sundar in Delhi and Tapan Sinha, Juthika Roy, Kanan Devi, R.C. Boral and Dilip Sirkar, the son of B.N. Sirkar of New Theatres in Kolkata. In Mumbai, the list of artists I was in touch with continued to grow and included G.M. Durrani, Ghulam Mohammad, S.N. Tripathi, Snehal Bhatkar, Bulu C. Rani, C. Ramchandra and many others such as Sajjad who, though he was very abrasive in general, took a liking to me. Producer, director Kardar and Vijay Bhatt were of immense helped me in recreating the forgotten era. Over the years, with continued research, my interest in and knowledge of film music grew and deepened. I came to know the music of earlier eras, of the 1940s, the 1930s. I came to know of artists whose names had been forgotten. And though I was not conscious of it, I suppose that in meeting living artists and tracing their memories, I was trying to reconstruct the history of film music. There were few archives, and one could not always trust artists to remember or sometimes even to tell the truth. I sought multiple sources of information. Family members of artists gave me access to old letters and photographs. I also met people who were not artists but who spent time around them, such as production managers, assistants, secretaries and retainers. One of my best sources of information, for instance, was K.L. Sehgal's driver, Paul, who I came to know through his granddaughter, whom I met by chance at a party in Mumbai. In Kolkata, I was fortunate to meet the daughter of a woman who had travelled from Mumbai to Jalandhar in frontier mail with Sehgal in his last days, Durgesh Mehta, Sehgal's elder brother. Hajarilal's daughter was a valuable source of information to me. Another valuable source for the music industry was the late Dr. R.P. Kapoor, who had migrated from Lahore. He was a personal physician to old-time artists such as Pandit Amarnath, Husnlal Bhagatram, Shyam Sundar, Roshan, Vinod, Anil Biswas, B.R. Chopra and many more. Dr. P. Madhok, son of poet D. N. Madhok, and Dev Anand's brother-in-law, never denied his assistance to me. I had been writing on the subject of vintage film music from my boyhood for various Gujarati periodicals. My first article for an English-language publication, Screen, was in 1971 on Noorjahan. I went on to write for Filmfare, G, Playback and Fast Forward, The Pioneer, The Times of India, Hindustan Times and The Hindu. In Mumbai's Midday, I had a regular fortnightly column that ran for 5 years up to 1999. I am grateful to these publications and the editors such as Ayaz Memon and Rauf Ahmad for giving me the opportunity to share my passion with a wide audience. Writing for the press also enabled me to reflect on artists as people and their place in the wider world, a preoccupation which will be evident in the stories in this book. My continued travels to Jalandhar, Delhi, Sujangarh, Kolhapur, Kolkata, Chennai, San Francisco, where I had a long chat with singer S.D. Batish, and widening circle of acquaintances, such as Mushtaq Abdullah in Karachi and Qatil Shifai in Lahore, helped me to clarify my thoughts and to check and verify facts. But when you love an artist's work, his personal life too becomes a subject of interest. O.P. Nair, Bulu C. Rani and C. Ramchandra, after a few pegs, never hesitated to lay bare their souls. Anil Biswas, who I met relatively later, in the 1980s, became a close friend. I heard many stories of Anilda's stormy life, all of which I promised never to reveal in his lifetime. Raj Kumari, Johrabai, Kamar Jalalabadi, Mazroo Sultanpuri and Pradeep also became close friends. I shared in their joys and sorrows. These artists often gathered at my house where the conversation could flow freely and without inhibition. I remember once, for instance, the poet Indivar asking Anil Biswas if he did not feel embarrassed being nominated for an award in the name of a celebrated singer whose career he had shaped. Before he could respond, Pradeep laughingly said the name of the award did not matter, what mattered was the monetary benefit. Everyone present had a hearty laugh. The remark and the reaction said more than what was left unsaid. I wish to express my gratitude to my late wife Kirtida, my daughter Amrita and my son Hemal for supporting me in my musical journey. My thanks also to Urvish Kothari, Kothari, Saarthak Prakashan and to Apurva Ashar for his pains over the design of this book. Nalin Shah. This is a sample audio-video presentation chapter from the book Melodies, Movies and Memories, written by Late Shri Nalin Shah. The book is published by Saarthak Prakashan, Ahmedabad. Price ₹300 inclusive of postage. Copies of the book can be ordered from Kartik Shah, mobile number 9825290796, or purchase from their website www.sarthakaprakashan.com. This audio-video presentation is prepared by me for the sole purpose of promotion of the book by Shri Nalin Shah. All contents, images, photographs, layout of the book etc. are used for this purpose only. Copyrights for all the materials used remain with the respective owners. Vinay Shah.